Hey guys, it's Tiny Tom Logan back with another video for you. I know I've done kind of an introduction about the YoYoTech and Gigabyte stand already, but I've managed to collar my best friend Andrew. The only reason why I say it's my best friend Andrew is because X79's due out soon. But anyway, Andrew works for Gigabyte and he's going to explain to us what they've been doing on the stand this weekend, because it's all Gigabyte equipment that they've been using, or at least motherboard and graphics card wise. That is right, isn't it?
That is right, yeah, exactly.
But they've got so close to some world records this weekend. It's a bit nuts, to be perfectly honest with you. And they are trying at the moment. But I'll let Andrew explain the scores that they've been getting already and why they are so significant.
Yeah, sure. Well, like we were saying earlier anyway, is that the hard thing about overclocking is it's not an exact science when it's coming to like the world records and that kind of thing. So you have things sort of like going wrong, and sort of bits and pieces can pop due to condensation and all sorts.
I think we have had some failures this weekend already, haven't we?
Well, exactly. I mean, it's nothing to do with the kit or anything along those lines. What we're actually doing is using liquid nitrogen, which is pretty much around about minus 190 degrees. So then what we're doing is then just pushing the stuff as far as we can really make it go. And sometimes, unfortunately, things will go pop. There's just nothing you can really do about that, to be honest with you.
I was lucky enough to be here earlier on, and it was a condensation problem. Basically, condensation had got down around the back of the graphics card, and we did have a capacitor come off in it was crazy. But like Andrew said, it's not the fault of the kit. It's just the fact that when you're running something at like minus 150 and running an insane amount of volts through it, obviously you are going to have some failures. But can you tell us about the scores, Andrew?
Yeah, sure, no worries. Well, so what we've been doing basically, we had a 990 UD7, which we were running with the new Bulldozer CPU, and then we had 4-way SLI using 580 graphics cards. So
was that the GTX 580 Super Overclocks?
Yes, it was indeed, yeah. So what we did was take off the reference coolers for all of those, basically whack on the extra copper blocks and stuff like that, so we could cool the GPUs with liquid nitrogen as well. We were also cooling the Bulldozer CPU. The day before, Dino, our overclocker, who's come over, who will probably introduce you guys to in a minute maybe, basically he managed to push the CPU up to about 8 gigahertz, which is actually the world record at the moment around about for that CPU, so we've done really, really well there. Then with the 4 GPUs that we were running and stuff, we started running 3D Mark 2011. So I was led to believe at the moment that the record for AMD systems on the 3D Mark at the moment, I believe, is around about 17,500, something along those lines. So as you can see on the Saturday here, we started off with 12,522. You can see the CPU was at about 3.6. We then pushed the CPU just that little bit harder, managed to get 14,649. Then today, obviously, because the guys have been experimenting, like overclocking this kind of level is always a work in progress, obviously. So then they managed to get 16,025 with the CPU at 5.5, and then we've got really, really close to the record, only 1,000 points out, basically, for 16,636. Unfortunately, then we had the problem with the condensation, which then blew the capacitor, but, you know, these things happen, especially the fact that we're on a show. These guys obviously normally overclock all day long with their components. They're really used to all the bits and pieces that they're using and stuff. So the fact that they've come here, turned up at this show and been able to get that close to a world record really says something about the kit we're using and the skill of the guys that are actually here as well.
I mean, that's something else that we've got a kind of real bit of stress on, is that okay, we've got to just over 8 gigahertz for the world record, and they're 1,000 points off with 3D Mark 11. But when those records were originally set, that would have been someone at home, someone that they were used to working, nice quiet environment, and they probably would have spent an immense amount of days and killed an immense amount of kit. For the Bulldozer world record alone, I've heard that there was like 20 chips killed to be able to get that.
Yeah.
And yet they've come here this week, they're at a show, they've had a couple of days, and they've got so close, and it's all been done in front of the public as well.
Yeah.
So that in itself is just an amazing achievement.
The other thing is as well is that when they were doing the AMD record, as far as I'm aware, they were actually using liquid helium, not liquid nitrogen. So the liquid nitrogen runs, as I was saying, around about minus 190, whereas I believe liquid helium is actually around about the minus 250 mark. So yeah, the fact that we managed to get those kind of results already is just a real sort of result, really, to be honest with you.
But what we're going to do now is I've got an amazing cameraman at the moment, which we've nabbed from YoYoTech. But what we're going to do is I'm going to grab the camera back off him, and I'll show you some of the things that they're doing at the moment, because they're actually they've just moved on to speed binning. Intel have just given them 4 2700Ks. Yes, I did say 2700Ks, it's not the 26s, but they're binning them now to try and find the best out of the 4, so that they can then try and start pushing some Sandy records as well, and, you know, running 3D Mark again. And yeah, we'll just have to see how they get on, but I'll give you a walk over that now.
Huh? What's your memory? On the graphics card. I think it'll be okay. We'll just I would actually need the memory. Pulling it apart, it's probably got condensation and stuff. But we can't get the power supplies to fire up two cars, so we don't know if it's the cars or the power supply. We'll just make it work. This Korean company made some Ln2 pots and one of the overclockers. They said, hey, you know, like, they want to gift you a special pot. It's a special gold pot. Yeah, there is condensation on the PCI small. Yeah. Take a car. Yeah, Vaseline was could have held there. Can you put it? We'll just, They use the hair dryer to pick up my mic. Just leave it there, we'll do it on the hair dryer.
Yeah, you wait on it.
Oh, this one is not long.
Funny, the whole show is that you.
I can't see it, there's nothing there.
No.
That really popped. Oh, the capacitor, was it?
Oh, this one. There.
Oh!
Oh, that's alright, that can be fixed.
Alright.
So it's on the input? Yeah. Maybe this was a bit loose or something, yeah? Yeah, always going to wear the gloves. Don't want to burn the fingers on the stuff, it's a bit too cold.
Health and safety, health and safety.
Safety, absolutely. But also self-preservation at a minus 197 degrees, mate. Got enough? God.
Oh, maybe.
There we go. A balloon? No, that would just be wrong and